Good morning and welcome to What's New in Automation for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. It's 7:30 in the morning. I hope you all had a great weekend in the US. We had yesterday off, Labor Day, and I had a great time with my wife up at the campground. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend if you had it off. And because of that, we're kind of doing something a little bit different this week. We're doing What's New in Automation on Tuesday instead of Monday because we weren't here on Monday. So I should say I wasn't here on Monday. So I hope your week is off to a great start. Short week, right? It's only 4 days this week if you're in the US. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what's new in automation. This is a show where we take a look at what was the headlines we were covering last week and what's coming for this week. So with that, let's go ahead and get into our first story here. And last week we talked about Rockwell Automation opening registration for Automation Fair 2024 and about them expanding the expo. We have extended an invitation out to Rockwell to come on the show to tell us all about it. And from there we go over to AMDT, or obviously MDT. They released a new version of VersionDog. It's 992. This included fixes for a lot of Siemens and Rockwell products. So if you're using VersionDog, you may want to check out that updated release. And we also covered a new feature from Copia. Copia released support in their Device Link product for Step 7 5.x. So if you're using that legacy version of Step 7, you now are supported inside of Copia. What else happened last week? Well, we did the Automation News Show on the 27th. You can see, catch the headline show here or the podcast of the show. You may see it some places still listed as the Automation News Roundup instead of Automation News Headlines. When we changed the name last time, it caused some issues with some of the platforms. So we're taking a break right now, so you may still find it as Automation News Roundup. The video costs a full-blown half-hour video of the news. That is a members exclusive. And then I'm not logged in as a member. You can see all the free links here to all of the previous headlines we covered last week. From there, we go over to the Automation School. A couple new things happening there. First off, we had our third in-person training class last week. It went great. It's so just awesome having people in the building, sitting down with them, teaching them ControlLogix, CompactLogix, or any of the products we teach at theautomationschool.com. And so I just wanted to give you guys a view of the training room. Right now, we're just doing 1 to 4 students, $900 a day or $500 for half day if you want us to include lunch. And this is the area we use. This is a panoramic, so the ceiling is not actually bowed like that. But in any case, we got some nice trainers here. I'm adding new stuff to the trainers all the time. So over time, we can do even more and more lessons on them. But in any case, what else is new at the Automation School is there's a new lesson in PLC Basics. So Rockwell, again, has changed their website. It was very confusing for students to find the free downloads for RSLogix and RS Emulate. So I went in here, and every edition of PLC Basics at theautomationschool.com now has a new lesson. You got to be aware of the fact if you're enrolled in these courses that it's going to be lesson 301C, and that's because the C means it's the 4th time we've updated it. So you got A, B, C, you get the original, and so that's new for August of 2024 so that you can get the free software and use it. Of course, we do include our free simulator with every course. You just fill in the form at lesson 105, and you don't even have to install any Rockwell software. You can just use our simulator if you desire. Now, with that, we're going to go to our next news story here. And this is some of the content we covered last week. On the Automation Show in Minute, we covered also how to get RSLogix for free. Again, if anybody's out there who's not in our courses, we want to make sure they knew how to do that. We covered that on the Automation Minute. And then in the Automation Show, I actually went through how to use debug files to simulate our widget machine. And I'll tell you, debug files are cool. Emulate 500 is cool because you can get it for free with RSLogix MicroStarter Lite. And it just makes a lot of sense to have all of these, to have these tools. If you're trying to learn the legacy RSLogix, if you have PLC5, 6500s, MicroLogix, you want to get up to speed on them, I think it's a great place to start before you go on to ControlLogix and CompactLogix, just to test to see if it's something you're interested in. But in any case, you can check those videos out at theautomationblog.com and on YouTube. From there, we go over to the podcast release. And the last release was an interview with John Gardner. I had such a blast. This is one of our longest shows at 100, 1 hour and 11 minutes. But in any case, had a blast interviewing him on his book. If you haven't heard of Manufacture Local, this is his latest book, or his first book on the subject, talking about, what the government and what people in the press and people in the think tanks are getting wrong about manufacturing in the U.S. I think you guys who are very closely tied to manufacturing and automation and really will feel in line with this book, because it just talks about what we need to do, what we need to tell people who are making these policies to change, because manufacturing is important. Manufacturing is important for every country. And I really enjoyed that. So that was podcast 216. And from there we go over, and that was sponsored too. So the video is free to everybody and the audio is always free for everybody. With that said, we also did a question in a week on Friday. We were talking about the Slick 100. I'm toying with doing that for the Automation Minute and Show this week. So that may be what we cover. If you're a member, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But in any case, if you have questions that you want to send them to me, automationblog.com/question. You can see the link. It's submit a topic question right here at the top. So you can submit your questions. What we did for the question of the week, it was like, hey, should I use the PT1 or the software, the transfer program? And then for the full-blown show, we talked about that in more depth. And I went through more of the automation simulator and how to use that for those interested in maybe helping somebody else learn how to use automation. So that, again, anybody who signs up for a PLC course at theautomationschool.com gets a copy of that. Now, let's take a look at another thing from the automation blog here. We're asking for folks who know anything about the Cymax 300. So this was donated by a very nice gentleman who I met on LinkedIn. It's a demo case including the Cymax 300. This is a what I call, it's a small display from the Automation Museum, which someday I hope to open up and have everybody's legacy PLCs through modern PLCs in, HMIs, different SCADA packages running on legacy computers, all kinds of sensors, like the old PhotoSwitch 4000 series, those big, gray tubes. And so it's something exciting, but in any case, this was the oldest unit I had that I'm not actually using for a training course right now. So in appreciation of the gentleman who donated it to me to use at the Automation Museum, I wanted to put it up there, but I don't know anything about it. I spent my time with the Slick 100s, the PLC 2s and 5s and Slick 500s. That's what was in the field when I got started. So I don't know much about this. So if any of you out there would like to contribute to the Automation Museum, as soon as we get some funding, we'll launch that as an official nonprofit. I'd love to get you guys to write in a little blurb. We can put it right on the table here. We're going to be putting more tables and some nice table skirts. We're going to have all these little exhibits here right outside our office for the Automation Museum. The Slick 500 will be joining this. The Slick 100, I'm looking for a demo case for the Slick 100. They're running about $350 on eBay, and I just, we got to keep the lights on first. So love to buy toys, but got to keep the lights on. So in any case, love to get anybody who knows anything about this product to write up a little page or two to display at the Automation Museum. And with that, let's talk about this week's coming schedule. So moving things around a little bit. So today we're doing what's new in automation. Tomorrow we'll do the news show. So the Automation News headlines and Automation News show for members. Then on Thursday, I'm going to work on the Automation Show and Minute. I had to change that to 2 to 4 a month because sometimes I can't get everything prepped in the couple hours I have in the morning before switching over to the Automation School to actually get everything set up, test it, and then record the show. But we'll see how Thursday goes. And then Friday is question of the week again. Again, I showed you at theautomationblog.com where you can post your question. You can also put it right on this video on YouTube or at theautomationblog.com or anywhere that it's out. LinkedIn, Facebook. I may not see it on Facebook or X because there's just so much going on there that sometimes it's hard to weed through the actual comments. But in any case, get in touch with me if you have a question for Friday's show. Really appreciate that. And what's next here? If you want to follow us, you want to know every place you can follow us, I have this link over at the automationblog.com. It's the follow link. Okay, so the automationblog.com/follow. And you can find all the links to the websites, the Automation Blog, the Automation School, video sharing sites. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. Daily live streams. We try to go on X, YouTube, Rumble, LinkedIn, Twitch. Some of them we actually do on the Automation Blog if they're for members only. And if we don't do it live on the blog, we post it afterwards. And then social media profiles, we've tried to rebrand almost everywhere as Insights IA, so you don't type in as much to get in touch with us. And then you can see where the podcast goes, and as well as the news headline podcasts. So that's the follow link. Okay. And with that, I want to, if you enjoy these videos and you want to support our work so we can expand what we do in all the areas, please consider joining. You can join either at theautomationblog.com or at YouTube. Also, consider giving us a like, a sub, and a share. That really helps us grow our audience. The bigger audience we have, the more vendors we can get on the show. We'd love to hear what favorite vendor you have and what products you'd like us to cover, because that, we want to cover what you're interested in. So with that, that is the end of what's new in automation for today. I hope you guys have a great week. And I want to just say hi to Brandon in the chat. I know sometimes I miss the chat. I forget to look up and people are like, hey, have a great day. So I just want to say hi to Brandon and look forward to talking to him soon about some future things. But I hope you all are having a great day, a great week. We should be back here tomorrow with the news, right? Headlines and show. And just want to wish you guys good health and happiness. And until next time, my friends, peace.